All right, all right. We are back again. Episode season 4, man, is getting on the way. Unfiltered Kings and a Queen podcast. And so we are back on our new night, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, thank you guys for transitioning with us. We there didn't want to interrupt you in your football teams and your arguing and who's going to the Super Bowl and all that. So we decided to move to a new time here on Tuesday at 7 o'clock Central. So thank you guys who was able to migrate and kind of still be there with us. You guys, we have a great show tonight. One that I think, we find everywhere on social media, dating scene, who's real, who's not. But let's talk about it tonight. Intentional dating. Are people still doing that? Is that something that people still do from time to time these days? And so before we get started, what we would like to do is always let you guys know that you can actually follow us on Instagram, on YouTube. You can actually follow us on Amazon Music, Spotify. And so if you don't catch the show tonight, no worries. You can always find us in those other spaces. And so before we get started, man, I want to introduce my team. I definitely can't do it without myself. Some of you guys remember this lovely lady. She was actually our guest last night. And so as you can see, she's a part of the team moving forward. And so without further ado, I want to welcome Ruth for being here tonight. Ruth, how's your day been going?
Going pretty good. Going pretty good.
Okay. And as always, you guys, if you've been with us here for a minute, we got the original queen on the actual show. She's back. She stepped away, and now she's back, man. And we're glad to have her back. None other than Diana. Diana, how's everything going today?
Everything's going good. Beautiful day. Rainy day, but a good day.
Man, since some of that rain down here in Texas, man, it's like we had our little time where it was cool evenings, but then all of a sudden it's back to that humidity. So, but it is what it is. But you guys, tonight we're going to have a great conversation. Intentional dating. Are people still doing that? Now, for you all have been following for a minute, as you can see, we have a new face on the screen. This young lady, I think we're going to have a great conversation. She is our guest tonight, and we're just going to be picking her brain just from the lovely woman that she is. We have some questions lined up, and so I wanted to introduce to some and welcome to others, Miss Sherrie John. Miss John, if you could say hello to the people.
Hey, everyone. How's everybody doing?
It is good to have you. I was joking behind the scenes, man, that this lady is one busy lady. And so I am thankful that we was able to kind of carve out some time. I actually saw a post that kind of lended itself that she was kind of talking about a video for us, the dating scene and some of the challenges that come with it. And so I reached out to her, and through her busy schedule, she gave us a little bit of time. And so we're definitely glad that we have her tonight. Again, remember, you guys, you can always follow us on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music. Make sure you go to our like, subscribe, share. Do us a favor, man. We love doing this for you guys, and it helps us a lot. And so let's just kind of open the conversation up, you guys. We live in this swipe culture, this hookup culture, online dating and things of that sort. Where do you feel just overall, where do you feel, Sherrie, just do you think the dating scene is healthy? Do you think it's in a good place as it stands in 2025 today?
I think the dating scene will always be in a good place. It's just we're just meeting the wrong people, right?
Okay.
You can be saying that I want to be in a relationship, and you meet other people that's going to be saying the same exact thing. But genuinely, they don't want the same thing. They're just probably just bored at home, want somebody to hang out with or get in the sheets with. That's the main issue with dating is just it's always going to be healthy, but it's always going to be, I'm not going to say a few bad apples, but it's going to be a couple of them that you run into.
Right. And what I'm interested, and I'm glad that we have, young women on this podcast, because one thing that I heard you say is that you still need the people to show up in these spaces, right? But I think there has been some danger and drop off into where we now have so many different avenues. Back in the day, it was more people oriented, face to face. But now, on social media and all these places where you can kind of be whoever you are, it's almost as if you don't get to meet the person for who they are. You meet the person for what they're actually scripted to be. But before we jump in, like I said, as always, make sure you've already subscribed to us. I definitely don't want to understate that. But let's just start with the basics, right? Because I think even with the term dating, everyone has a different thought process on what that really is. So what I would like to do is just kind of course, starting with you, Sherrie, but I want to kind of get everybody's thought process. Like when you hear the word dating, like what do you really think of, and what is your idea of dating?
For me, dating, I'm not going to even say that, you're meeting somebody, you already met, talk on the phone, you already have an understanding that y'all both like spending time with each other, and therefore y'all started going out on dates, whether it be going to dinner or going to the movies. Y'all are intentionally dating each other, right? And it doesn't mean that you're not dating other people. It's just we're still dating to see if our minds link together, to see if we can actually take the step to the next level.
Okay. Dan, when you heard the word dating, and it's interesting, Dan and I, we was talking because I think we kind of talked about a topic that's similar to this, dating versus courting. But I do think some of that synergy is going to come into this conversation. But Dan, I wanted to get your thought process. When you use the word dating, or you hear the term dating, what does it mean to you?
So when I hear dating, there's some intent behind it, right? There's a purpose for why I choose to date these people, right? I'm not dating for a vibe or just to like pass time. Like we're dating because we're trying to turn this into like marriage, some type of partnership. You get what I'm saying? So when I think of dating, I'm thinking of the intent behind it, of like what's my reasoning for, going on dates. So that's essentially what I view it as, what the intent is behind it, not the word dating just in general. So purpose.
Okay. I love the fact how even when we try to define that word dating, what I've noticed so far is that word intentional has popped up. And we'll talk about that a little bit more, but I think that's where the narrative kind of gets lost in the weeds, so to speak. Is just, how do we identify dating? Because I think everyone has that topic, but I think when it comes to intentional dating, I think like Sherrie said, that's where kind of things start falling off. So I'm looking forward to exploring that. Ruth, when you hear the term dating, when you think about dating or the idea of dating or someone want to date, what do you think? What does that word convey to you?
When I hear the word dating, with intentions behind it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I hear dating, I don't hear the word dating like multiple people. So when I hear dating, I hear exclusive. It's
Okay.
just me and that person. So when I hear dating, I'm not dating several people. So when it's dating, I hear also exclusive. I'm being exclusive, and I'm dating with intentional, with purpose. So when you're dating me, I don't expect you to be dating several other people.
Yeah. See, I love these words, and I'm already getting excited because I remember again watching Sherrie's video. If you guys haven't checked it out and Facebook haven't taken it away, go back and look to it because as I watched her video, she was talking about accountability components. And I think that's the big thing. We have this narrative of what dating looks like to us, but then when you put exclusivity, when you talk about intentionality, now there's some accountability, right? There's some parameters, if you will, in this art of dating. And so I'm interested in exploring that. Now you guys have been so good. I should have asked this question first. So everybody talked about intentional dating. Okay, let's go there then, right? And Ruth, if you can, before we go to Sherrie, I kind of want you to kind of expound on something when you said what everybody else thinks. What's society's view of dating? What are some of the, I guess you could say, the wrong ways of dating that you've seen from your lens that's out there that people think they're being intentional, but it's just like, nah, that's not it. Like, what are some things that you've seen out there in the dating world where it's like, nah, that's not the one. That's not the way that we should go about it.
I see people playing games, not being intentional, or
What?
don't say what they mean, um, or don't say what they're looking for. Um, and some people are just, okay, just use our age group. You think that when you get a certain age that you're done playing games. I think that in our age bracket, that's when the games seem like they're being played the most.
Yeah.
So I don't think people are being intentional. And I think that sometimes you could just say what it is. So if you are not trying to be exclusive or you're not trying to be intentional, say that. Be upfront with it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of deception, a lot of ghosting, a lot of game playing out there. Sherrie got her first fan. Christine B says, "Hey, Sherrie, Christine B. There's other people on this. I'll be trying to tell y'all jump on here. All right, don't worry about it. I'm glad to have you, Christine B. Like, only one person on this screen. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll before it's over with. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for joining in. Don't forget the shares and like us and things of that sort. But yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff that's out here that I think that people act in a very selfish way, right? When they say that there's dating, and I love something that you said that we'll get to is that my whole thing is just say what you want. Like, it's something out here for everybody, but I think and I think even Sherrie talked about this in her video, it's when you start lying and manipulating and things of that sort, and now you got me under the guise that, hey, we're here and we're really over there, and it's kind of like, okay, now it becomes a waste of time, energy, and opportunity. But I did want to kind of go back and kind of, the title of this is intentional dating. Are people still doing that? What do you all, and I'm just speaking from a woman's standpoint, Sherrie, we'll start with you. What does intentional dating mean to you? I think we kind of talked about some of the nuances of generic dating, right? But I think that's kind of played out these days from what we've all said. But what does intentional dating looks like to you?
Intentional dating means it's pretty much we are both on the same page, going to the same. We both have the same goal of actually being exclusive with each other, being life partners, leading to marriage. That's pretty much what it is. It's just like we're on the same page, moving forward. Hopefully, that we can actually become exclusive and move forward with possible marriage. That's what intentional dating is. But unfortunately, we're running into people that's not doing that. You have a lot of people that just want to hang out, or they're just bored, or looking for their next option, the best option. But yeah, that's what intentional dating means to me.
Okay. And Miss Crystal Sanford, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, she said hello. I think she's a first timer. So welcome to Unfiltered Kings podcast. Don't forget to like and share and do all the other good jazz if you like what you're hearing today. So good to have you. So intentional dating, man. And I love the simplicity of it, right? Because it kind of goes against what, Ruth said that's out here, all the games and all this stuff. But it's just like, hey, what are we really doing, right? Are you a good person? Do I even like you? Right? Let's just throw that one out there. And so I love the simplicity in the terms of intentional dating. Dana, I'll throw it back over to you. Intentional dating. When you hear that term from your mindset or from your expectations, what does that look like to you?
So I mean, kind of the same thing. Sherrie, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Said it's there's a purpose behind it, and I said that already. And when the question was asked prior, but it's just there's a clear purpose behind it. Like, you're dating to get to a certain level, a partnership, a marriage. You know what I'm saying? And everybody is on the same page, and we both know that what we want is aligned, essentially.
Right.
So that's essentially what I think intentional dating looks like. But obviously, we know that's not what everybody's reality is. So,
right. Christine B, I think she's about to go to church. That part. Did I read it the way that you meant it? That part. No, I'm a G. I can't do that. Is that okay? She said that part. So, but no, seriously, man, it's like we've lost the simplicity into it. I think, like from everybody said, is that it's more of an actual selfish act. And I love the fact of those components. And Ruth, I want to kind of ask you a different question. Because usually in the art of dating, there are times where you do not find those topics of partnership, kind of like Sherrie was talking about, hey, marriage or courtship. You like these are off topic, right? It's about, hey, where we eat at, can we have sex? Like these are the short-term values that we put in this art of dating. And I just wanted your opinion. Like, why do you think those values of partnership, marriage, hey, what do we have? Why do you think those have been put aside? And just your own opinion. And now these shallow things such as, do I get a meal, or how do I look with this person, or hey, I just want to do it for sex? Why do you think these have taken over more so than those foundation pieces? We talk about partnership, marriage, longevity, and things of that sort.
You asking me that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I did. I'm asking you.
You said, why do I think that is taken over?
Why do you think so many people put the topics of marriage and partnership aside in the art of dating and more concerned about sex? How does it look, going out to get something to eat? Like, why do you think we've lost the value of what dating should be about?
Because truthfully, because in my personal opinion, because babies are having babies, and because I think that is taken away from, if you have babies young, they don't know the sanctity, or if you, and this is no shade to no one, but if you have a baby young and you have not seen what marriage looked like, you don't know how to value marriage or know what marriage is. So you haven't seen that. So you normalize just dating, or you normalize being just dating, or just dating, kind of, sort of. Some people don't value marriage, or think that marriages should be a thing, or just, some people tell you, I don't want to be married. I just want to be a baby mama, or just something of that caliber. Me personally, that's what I want. I want to be married. I want the sanctity of being married, or someone valuing me or considering me. So to me, it's just depend on what you're around. If you surround yourself with married people, I think that's sometimes what you want to be, or how you want to be involved. Because sometimes what you associate with is what you want to be around. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. I think that's a scary sentiment, that we have people out kind of, again, going piggyback into what Sherrie said, that they're looking for these components that they don't even believe in anymore, or they come from a background to where they didn't see it in its true sense. Right. That's I think that's that's scary within itself. How can you want something but you have not been honest with yourself to say, hey, have I came from a healthy background to know what that really is, right? I can't want what I've been taught that, hey, that's bad, or if that's a bad experience. I think Donna mentioned that in our episode when we talked about dating versus courting. If you come from a bad background where marriage was this hell on earth, there's no incentive, right, to look forward to it. But again, if we're going out meeting people who want that, we're probably putting ourselves in a position to hurt someone. O2 Boo is back with us 2 weeks in a row, man. O2 Boo, you know what I mean? I'm hoping I'm saying it right now, so I hope you get a few more followers. O2 Boo says, keyword intentional. One can intentional be dating to sleep with someone, and their intent is just that, to perform an action on purpose with conscious intent and a clear understanding of the action. Whew. Okay. That's the unfortunate part about it, right? Sherrie, is that even when people are intentional, hell, game is intentional, right?
Absolutely.
These days, people pride themselves on, and let's just be honest, from a man's perspective, you hear it in the men's circles and things of that sort, to where you pride yourself on being true to actual game. And I go back to, like Ruth said, something like, if that's all you want, why not just go find somebody who want that, versus the gaming and things of that sort. Sherrie, I'm kind of interested in hearing your perspective. And as this podcast, what we try to do is have a conversation where men and women are talking to each other versus at each other. But I want to kind of see, what do you have to say for as those who pretty much run game? Like, what would it be something that you would say if you had your moment of clarity, a moment of truth, and you could get everybody together, so to speak, who runs game and things of that sort? Like, how would you speak to that idea of what game is, if that makes sense?
I think I understand, like, I'm talking to as far as somebody running game.
Yeah. Like, what are the dangers? What are the thought process that you have just as a woman? Let's just say I'm coming in with all this game and what have you. Like, what are some of the things you think that men don't understand, the dangers and the hurt that comes from that quote unquote running game?
Oh, I mean, like, okay, say for instance, like myself, I'm intentionally dating right now. I'm not dating just for free food or what you can do for me. I'm actually intentional dating. Like, I want to date you and see where we can take it. Now, if a man comes at me and he knows in his heart that this is not what he doesn't want the same things as me, what he's doing is he's just drawing the life out of me. He's taking that mental stability out of me, knowing that now that I've wasted whatever weeks, months with you, where I could have still been focusing on, another person, my potential husband that's right behind you, yet you were wasting my time the whole time. It really does affect the person mentally, knowing that you weren't having the same intention as they were. You were just out trying to get some booty or whatever the case may be. It really affects a person mentally to feel like they're being used.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That question, sometimes I think we think that it's so simplistic. Oh, game is wrong, playing people is wrong. But I think sometimes hearing it, we really don't understand the ramifications to it. Because I always say that running game, hurting people and all this, it really has a long-term effect on people that we've gone on, did our own thing. But when we talk about human beings, I really don't think men and women alike understand the damage that it actually plays on people. No, this person goes on to where now they're putting boundaries, walls up to, like you said, Sherrie, okay, now the person who's there for you, you don't recognize them, right? Because you're trying to protect the person of the past.
Yeah, so now my guard is up, knowing this person come in genuinely wanting to be essential just like me, but now my guard is up and afraid that this person might hurt me, right? And now I'm scaring this person off because they're thinking, I don't like saying this word, like she's too damaged for me to, move forward with her. And in all actuality, is the person that damaged me before, and I don't want to get hurt like that again. I don't want to cry and be in the house for a couple of weeks thinking about how this person did me wrong. But unfortunately, that's what happens sometimes. And when you meet a good person, all they see is, oh, she don't trust me. She this or whatever the case may be. And they're not understanding how much damage they had in the past that you had to deal with in the past.
Right. Dana, is there any other, I guess you could say, side effects that you feel that running game, whatever you want to call it, actually has, whether it's been in your experience or something that you see in society? Is there any other ill effects that you think that we don't speak on a lot, but that really are there and true when it comes to running game?
I'm sorry, ask the question one more time. I just want to make sure that I am understanding what you're asking me before I just say something crazy.
We're worried about hurting people feeling. We speak the truth, right? No, I'm just kidding. What I want to explore, because I know men and women are watching this alike, I want them to hear women actually speak to men for, hey, this is the damage, right? Like when we say, oh, don't run game, that sounds so cliche, right? But what are some of the damaging things that are done, when that game is played on you all? Like, what are some of the challenges and the damages that you guys experience when that person's going on about their business?
I think a lot of times it hits our ego, right? Our self-esteem can deplete. It makes you second guess, like, if you're good enough, like you have that inner battle sometimes, with your inner self on, like, I guess where you saw yourself, and then where this person kind of saw you. So physically, mentally, and emotionally, it's just an alter kill on all three portions of your psyche, because this whole time, what I'm saying, you're thinking, everything is great or whatever, and you're like, you're it for this person, and their whole intention behind it was to cause you more harm than good. But on top of that, people know what they're doing to you. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the intent to begin with. That whole, well, I didn't know it was gonna.
Yeah.
Oh no, you knew exactly
You know
what
what you was gonna do. Like
you
even
knew what
that
you were
when that
gonna do.
person, I'm sorry
You
to chime
know?
in. Even when that person met you,
Yeah.
they were like, okay, yeah,
Oh
I'll
yeah.
probably want to date her. But it's
Hmm.
somewhere down the line, they know whether or not they're not interested in moving forward. But they will
Yeah.
sometimes they will continue to date you because they have
Hmm.
access to you.
Right.
So yeah.
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 Yeah. And that too. Most people, honestly, everybody that approaches you, there's some intent behind the approach. They're approaching you for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You don't know the reason, but they 100% know why they approached you to begin with, right? Whatever it was they wanted to access from you, that's why they're approaching you. And then, like you said, when they get you, you know what I'm saying? The only reason why most of them probably will stay around is because you're still giving them access. Once you remove the access, two things are gonna happen. Either they're gonna either go away because, like you said, we knew what the intent was, so they already got what they want, so they're exiting, or they're gonna try to play that, push and pull game that people play, where they be like, "Oh, hey, I'm here," on the sidelines, and trying to see if they can return that access of you. So.
Mhm.
Man, I definitely think you guys' words speak to a lot of power. We don't get to talk in these spaces because the one thing that came to my mind as I heard you all talking, and Ruth, if you can probably help me with this, we're quick to label, or some are quick to label Black women in society as the angry Black woman, right? Without looking at, well, what caused that, right? We're not even justifying it, but what caused it, right? If you've hurt me so many times, I'm gonna show up in a space where I'm hurt, where I'm angry, where I'm bitter. Like we're talking about just imperfect humans, right? And so then we put that label out there without taking the responsibility of saying, okay, what did what did society do, or what did some men do in society to cause this anger,
Right.
instead of just having a label? And so, Ruth, in your own way, if you can kind of break down and help us destroy that term of angry Black woman and speak more to the reality, it's a human being that's been hurt on the other side of you, sometimes on the other side of that.
Right. It's a collaboration of what Diana and Sherrie said.
Mm-hmm.
If you playing with somebody's emotions, or if they think it's one thing and then it's a not, I don't think it's something like an angry Black woman. It's like, you've been playing with me. And
Right.
sometimes I always say this: wherever you buy the ticket at, I'll give a show. So if I'm thinking that we are in an exclusive relationship, and I'm gonna keep it
Uh-huh.
real. So if we're exclusive, and I'm thinking that we're exclusive, and I walk up on you, or I pull up on you, and you with somebody else, so I'm just gonna give a show sometimes, because here I am thinking that we've been together, and you already know. Y'all know what I'm saying. So if I'm thinking that we are together, and I'm not confronting the woman, now if she get out of pocket, then she get out of pocket. Now I'm 5'2", and I think I'm 5'9". Okay. So, but if she get out of pocket, she shouldn't say nothing to me, because I'm dealing with something that I thought was mine. I'm gonna keep it 100. So we're gonna keep it 100. So that's why I think that's not the angry Black woman, but it's just that I thought we were together. Now I can be classy or I can be ratchet with it, but that's how I would, I don't think that's an angry Black woman. I just think that that's somebody playing with my emotions, because I thought we was exclusive.
Yeah.
And I think that's how sometimes you're not dating with intentions, or I thought we were dating with intentions or with purpose, but you was playing with me. So, and after
Yeah.
that, after I give this show, we're done.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to keep acting a fool This is not baseball. Only one strike and you're out.
Jesus, y'all heard that? You don't want the ticket to that show. But no, I think seriously, and you know, we always try to address Sherrie on this podcast. You know, I think a lot of time we do more damage than good when we get hung up behind genders, and we don't make it a human thing. You know, no one likes their emotions played with, time wasted, humiliated, you know, and things of that sort. And so that's why I wanted to be intentional in kind of explaining that. I think O2 Boo, he kind of chimed in from that other side. You know, a lot of women look at men when dating, look at what the man can do for them rather than what we can do for each other. You know, and let me speak to this. And Sherrie, you know, you'll feel free to chime in on this. Although this is very true, what I find interesting when I see top statements like this on social media, it very much well can lend itself to both genders, right? Yeah. I know we can only speak from our actual gender, and you know, we definitely have a right to do that. But the reality is, how do we get to the point where we quit playing these games? I think that's the big thing. Like, how can we get to the point to where, you know, well, all men do this? No, they don't. Well, all women do that. Like, at the end of the day, why are we still adults playing games with each other instead of just saying what it is that we actually want? Sherrie, I'm interested in your thought process on that. And again, just your own experience. Why do you think it's so hard for people to keep it 100 and just say, hey, this is what I want and let you choose, as opposed to going through the smoke and mirrors and things of that sort?
There is a small amount of people that will tell you exactly what they want. And I have to give credit to them. But the game is always going to be played. The game ain't going nowhere at all. The game will always be, it's here to stay. But the good thing is not everybody's playing the game. We just have to move as a person who is intentionally dating. We just have to move different, whether it be different environments, hang out with different groups of people, and making sure that you actually, when you actually meet somebody, that you take the time and patience to get to know that person. Have that conversation on the phone when you go out on a date. Don't go to these loud places where it's music and hookahs and drinks. Actually sit down somewhere quiet and actually get to know that person instead of just trying to microwave. Instead of trying to microwave something so fast with them, just take your time, because I guarantee you, if you wait and really get to know a person, that person's true side will eventually come out. Right. But we live in a society right now, we just want something to be rushed. We want to be loved on, whether it be 2 or 3 weeks. And next thing you know, you thinking that you're in a relationship. We just need a little bit more patience to weed out the bad ones.
Speed dating.
Yeah. Right. You know, and I think that's something that and that could be a whole nother podcast, but that's something that we don't look for in that next relationship as an opportunity to heal. Not necessarily that is that person's job to fix us like a doctor, but sometimes we need that space that you're talking about, being a friend, being very intentional with developing a friendship to identify, hey, am I over that? First of all, a lot of people walk around here self-medicating. You know, yeah, I'm over because the person is gone, but you're really not emotionally. Right. And so what I do, I just kind of throw on to you and lash on to you. Sometimes you just need that friendship to where, hey, it's a genuine friendship to where you can see, hey, am I really over this person before I try to make a full court press to this next person? We have a few more comments and then we'll move on to our second segment. But man, this is good. Intentional dating. Are we even still doing that? And so if you guys haven't already, you can follow us on YouTube. Of course, we're live on Facebook, and it'll be up tomorrow on Spotify, Amazon Music, and also iHeartRadio. O2 Boo said, the person that I'm with now, the thing that I love about her the most is she made me get to know her, and she brought her value and showed me my value and how we are valuable together. So kind of like Sherrie was talking about. Oh, well, let me find out you're trying to get some cool points on our podcast, bro. You know, but no, seriously, man, like kind of like Sherrie said, that valuable time that we put into each other with no ulterior agendas, man, prove wise. Marlon Winfrey said, with that being said, do you think it's wise to roll up on someone? Why not just leave them? I think she was being facetious in doing that. We try to have a little humor, Marlon, on this show, man.
Relax.
You know what I'm saying? Woosah. Everybody do like this in Woosah.
We roll up on you. I'm just kidding.
But I think I wanna piggyback. I wanna reply to what Otubu said when he said
no, go ahead.
Some women, I think it's a mutual thing. Like when a man and a woman, some women think that it's all about what a man can do for them. I think it should be mutual. It's not all about, when you say intentional dating. Intentional dating is for me, and it's intentional dating is for the man as well. So some women seem to think like when you're intentional dating, it's just all about a female. It's not. It's about the male as well. And a lot of times that's not being talked about. That's not being put forth out there. It's about what can a man do for me? But I always teach my daughters too. It's what can you do for each other? Because it's not about you all the time. It's not. It's about both of you. And I think that that's not being put on the forefront as well. Because just like I have a friend, she's on here now, Crystal. We talk about picnic dating. She does that as well, just like it's reciprocated for her. So I think reciprocity should go both ways, not just for a female. And we need to teach that. So if I had a son, I would teach my son in the beginning, you are a king and you should be treated as such. It's not always about the female as well. And I think that needs to be put out there as well too.
Oh, so glad you said that. Go ahead.
No, I was saying amen to that. Reciprocity is key.
Look, I wanted to go in on it, but I know, y'all know how some of my viewers get, you know what I'm saying? But that's the absolute God honest truth. We got to take these genders out of it and say it's a human thing. Men have expectation. And let me say this for some people who are silly out there, but I'm going to say it. We're not saying that there's anything wrong to have expectations and values and all that. But that's not the end all be all. Because if we're honest, and I'm going to say this, a lot of time we base that on what we don't want, but that doesn't mean that's what we need. Right? We'll go through a bad situation and know everything we don't want. But now, kind of like Sherrie said, if you meet your knight in shining armor, you still don't know that he or she may have components that you need because you just focus on what you don't want. And let's just say if it's just a regular human error, right? Like I said, I always talk about our 20%. Well, as soon as he or she does that same thing, but not the same sentiments, there go your walls, right? So you don't even give that person a fair chance. So yeah, there should be an expectation on both ends. That's why I hate when we talk about this stuff. A real man or a real woman should be doing this. Like, what's a fake man or a fake woman? And I think what that does, to Ruth's point, it pushes the accountability piece to the other side, and it just leaves me in a position, just give me what I want. Now, reciprocation is key. I almost butchered that word, boy. Trying to.
Sure did. Ooh, I thought I had to save you for a second. I was waiting. You need to jump in. What you need me to do?
I'm gonna cut the whole thing off and blame it on electricity. No, I'm just kidding. So Christine B said, "It is your responsibility to discern the type of person you're entertaining. Learn to know what's in front of you." I agree with Sherrie. Christine, I told you again, you have one more comment. You can agree with me. It's Diana on her. You see our little names up here? We ain't the only one on here. So I'm feeling some type, but I get in my feelings, so excuse me. But no, that's absolutely right. And that's what I was going to ask Sherrie. With all this game in here, because I really do want to get to our second, our other segment. But in the world of gaming and all this stuff we talked about, how have you found you're using discernment? What does that look like to you? Because like you said, you don't want to just kind of shut up and be a hermit, but at the same point in time, it's not like I can keep taking these punches over and over, and time is of this and things of that sort. So what does that discernment looks like to you in your approach to the dating world?
Well, for me personally, if I'm out and I happen to meet a man, some of the, I guess you could say, yellow red flags for me when it comes to discernment is just, what's the conversation about, right? Is it all about my looks and, that person telling me, showing off everything they have, a house, car, and all that type of money? Looks fade. So if you're only interested in me when it's just for looks, then no, that's discernment to me that you're probably a good person, but you're probably not my type of person. Is that the question that you're asking? I'm hoping I'm answering it right.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. That's the type of discernment. Like, what's the conversation about? Is it about, oh, you telling me everything that you can do for me, just trying to make me get on your team? Oh, you look so good. Oh my God, body. That shoots red flags to me. This lets me know, like, probably this is not the person that I should be gearing towards or paying attention to, because they're focused on one thing where I'm so much more than that. And as I'm getting older, I'm about to be 40 in a couple of weeks. Beauty fades. That lets me know that, okay, let me focus my attention on somewhere else.
Right. And I think that's so key, man, is that a lot of time when I hear this cliche stuff out here for what you're looking for in a man, looking for in a woman, have you even taken the time that that's probably not what that person wants or want to leads off to? Not every handsome man or beautiful woman leads off with that, right? Some do want you to get to know who they are. And so I think a lot of time we miss our blessing, so to speak, by taking these cliche things. And that's the segment I kind of want to get to, which for all intents and purposes, you guys, we want to be on section 3, is the red flags versus real intentions. I hate when I hear this term red flag, because usually when people use it, they're using it completely out of context. And so I wanted to take some time to identify what is truly a red flag versus now that's just someone who has real intentions. They just failed. That, in other words, that's just a part of their human error, right? They tried their best to come up and say something to you, and maybe it failed. It didn't land well, but their intentions was well, versus someone who's coming in, like we've been talking about, you coming up with the game and everything, and it's like, nah, that ain't it. And so what are the red flags that scream this person isn't intentionally dating with you, Sherrie? What are some things or some characteristics, or what do you hear right off the bat when someone open up their mouth, whether it's on the day, whether it's over the phone or whatever, that off the bat this person ain't interested in intentional dating?
Well, right off the bat, I gotta think about that one. Let Diana go and then come back to me.
Sherrie, like I done heard it all. Say Sherrie over there like woosah, woosah. Okay, there ain't nothing wrong with thinking about it. But again, Diana, like what are some things that you've heard, or you kind of been in this world of quote unquote dating so much that when you hear right off the bat, it's like, nah, that's not it. Like it automatically just shuts you down, or is a turn off to you?
Somebody who moves too fast early on.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to come over on the first date. We can. If like the one thing that kills me the most is like that somebody will be like, "Oh, how'd you sleep?" I'll be like, "Oh, how'd you sleep?" They'll be like, "Oh, I slept okay, but I'd be better if you was here with me." Like, dude, I don't know you from A to Z. Like, why is that the first? Like, how did I know you were going to? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, so cliche of you to say that.
How do they ask you how did you ask them how did they sleep, and they said I slept.
That's the one that comes up so much. It's like, oh, okay. I would have slept better if you were here cuddling with me. Like, ew.
Hey man, we're gonna have to have a fellas retreat soon. All the fellas, if we out here doing this, we need to get slapped. We need to get cut. Oh my god, like that's so. It's like, oh my god, fellas, we're gonna have to do better, bro. We're gonna have to get together on the retreat, man.
Yeah, but that's like an early on one. Like that's like the one that like screams like, oh my god, okay, like trying to move too fast, like rushing literally everything. Like
wow, yeah. To me, that is a trauma sign. I won't go off into that, but that really is a trauma sign that you have some unhealed resolve that you're trying to supplement. Anyone will work in that case, right? It's just a matter if you find someone who fall for it. Christine B, we just talked about humor, so I'm gonna read this little funky statement, but I'm gonna take it down also. He need to be 6 feet and have $1 million. Come on. You know what? I'm gonna hit you in your what they say in the DMs. I have a response 6 feet and $1 million.
But also love bombing.
That's a red flag for what women be saying to me.
Right? Yeah, she's saying that's red flag for what women be saying, because it's like it's kind of like not mirroring. Like you want like sometimes I think that certain things should balance out, right? And then obviously you're gonna have your weights, but You want him to be $6 million. You want him to have $6 million, 6 feet, and have $1 million, but you work at Popeyes. Is that about?
Yeah. That's a red flag that women do or say.
First of all, I like how y'all both just collaborated. Y'all don't even know each other, Sherrie and Down, to take her back. I wish us fellas learned how to do that. Because I was like, oh, that is what she meant in the whole 9 yards. So
yeah.
I mean,
She was saying that's like for women.
No, y'all kind of had your rings touched together and y'all combined and y'all did that. But no, seriously, it's kind of like.
But yeah, so another one is love bombing. Like there's the one where they like do stuff early on, like a bunch of gifts, like overdoing things, like gift giving early on, extravagant. You know what I'm saying? Things, because like for me, I feel like you trying to overcompensate for something else. Like you're trying to like give all these things like so early on. It's like, I just met you 2 days ago, and you want to do all these things. Like they're like overcompensating. Like they're like too nice in a sense of what they're doing. Like I'm not saying that there's things you can't do early on, but like some of it just be like over the top, because it's like ever going. It's like always coming. It's never, there's like no all stop. Like there's like no, it's just whatever you need me to do. I'm like freaking Superman. I'm getting to it for you. So
right.
It's another early on.
That's called manipulate. I think that's a word that
love bombing. Love bombing.
We have an idea of we thinking of, but then like love bombing. I've been in that space before, and I can tell it's embarrassing, right? Because it's kind of awkward, because it's like you see the end goal where I was in college. This professor's daughter, she was just, when I tell you, she was buying ridiculous stuff. Like I went to HBC, we were poor. Like we was happy to get a 2-piece with a pepper. Like seriously, like that was like, okay, man, yeah, that's good. But she was just like 5-star meals, and then one day it was nowhere remotely to my birthday, and she bought like big balloons and bears, which I don't like, in all due respect. And so it can be very awkward because you're thinking the person is genuine, but it's as a guy, well, you being mean or whatnot. Nah, you moving. We don't even know each other, right? So that love bombing can be one. Let's see what O2 Boo is talking about. He's been representing for the fellow Sherrie. Hey man, and look now, if they get on you, O2 Boo,
O2 Boo, is it over here in his feelings or something?
He said before I got taken out of these streets. See, man, you set that up. We're gonna have to get together, fellas, but I digress. Like you set that up wrong. Before I got taken out of these streets, I used your words against women. I came across. What are the things you don't like? What happened in your last relationship? And I'm nothing like that until I am. Well, O2 Boo, you shouldn't have brought it up. You putting down
answer the question.
No, but I think what he's saying is that he remembered a time where he used to be that person, kind of like
right, but he's not now.
Intimate conversations and intimate information, and use that to exploit. And no disrespect, O2, I'm just O2, but we just joking. But I think that's the lowest of a low person, right?
Right.
Like I always believe if you can improve a person, at least leave them like you found them. Like that's a fundamental belief of mine. I'm not going to leave you worse than what you were, especially if I have tried that damn you going through. I can even throw my hand up and say, you know what, that's not my cup of tea. That's a little bit too much. But I'm damn sure not going to use it for gain and leave you in a lower place. And so, yeah, I kind of understand what you're saying there. And then we have Christine B says, I think we really need to have these discussions, especially in our community. I've never heard or hardly hear of our people saying, oh, yeah, my sibling or parent talked to me about healthy dating. You're absolutely right. And if you have shameless Christine B, go back and look at our podcast where we talk about the difference between dating and courting. We identified that a lot of the wrong thought processes that we get about dating and courting come from the dysfunction in our families, right? That's the first community we come from, right? And so a lot of time, going back to Sherrie's point, it's not that she's met a bad guy. She just met a guy that can talk right. And that's a whole nother piece, because now she has to make a decision. Do I want to stand there and dock on you and wait till you heal? Or no, I need somebody that's a little bit more equipped and put together, right? And so sometimes I think Ruth said it, are we looking for that which we can show up in that space, right?
Mm-hmm.
We should be looking for something that we know ourselves we're not capable of doing and or having healed from. Alyssa Georgeman, welcome to the show. I think this is the first time we saw a comment from you. I have a question if not answered. Okay, Sherrie, here you go. I have a question not answered. If you find out the man you are talking to has other women, you know what, Alyssa, we try to be men and women. We talk together. We don't cuss at each other. All right, here we go. If you find out the man you are talking to has other women, do you bow out? Does it depend if you see she's getting more or less than you from him? I'm just gonna let y'all on that.
Well, it depends. Like, it depends on how long you've been dealing with that person personally. Like, say for instance, if you just met this person, y'all been going on dates for like a month, you're not currently having sex yet, there hasn't been a conversation. If you know we're exclusive, then you know if I like you, then I find out that you're dating other people, then you know I'm pretty sure going to be dating other people because it's only been a month. Now if you're well into it, like 3 or 4 months in, and he's still dating other people, then for me, I will bow out. I will definitely bow. I don't care what he's doing for her, what he's doing for me. I will bow out because by the third or fourth month, he should know. Okay, y'all both should know that if y'all want to take it to the next level and be intentionally dating and being exclusive. So it depends on where the timeline is as far as how long y'all been dating.
Yeah. So to on top of that too, they're just talking. So I guess what's the intent behind the situation anyways? If we're just talking, I mean, that's not even really a real thing, if I'm being honest. But if we're just talking, I mean, they're going to be talking to other people because you guys obviously have not stated that you're exclusive. And regardless of if he's getting, like, how do you know what this other woman is getting unless I guess you know of the woman, which means you're tracking what he's giving her. That whole scenario just sounds diabolical. You should just bow out, period, because just bow out.
Yeah.
Period.
And I think that all depends on what you're talking about, because for me, you know, it all just depends because when I'm dating you or trying to talk to you to see where we're going, we're talking, right? So if sometimes you could be talking on the phone for months and you haven't made, so talking on the phone with me, if you're talking on the phone with me, I'm like Jasmine Sullivan. I bust the windows out your car.
Oh my God.
Okay, and don't be thinking like I'm a stalker or something, because you know. But if we're talking, like Sherrie said, we're talking on the phone. You know how you go to sleep and you know you go to sleep. No, okay. If you don't know that kind of talking, you think like we've been talking for a long time. So you're talking with intentions. So if I'm talking with you that long for intentions, 4 or 5 months, I'm gonna bow out.
Yes.
But then it also depending on your age, to me, because when you're dating with intentions or talking with intentions, sometimes you know your worth. I'm not about to be talking to you and watching you do this for this one. No, I got more time behind me than I got ahead of me. So I'm dating with intentions. I'm talking with intentions. I don't have time because to me, that's when James said, you know, you're playing games. So that's a red flag to me. Because if you're trying to play me and play this person, play that person, that's potential what you could be doing. I ain't got time for that. So I'm going to
bow out.
I love what Sherrie said, because you guys know we always talk about emotional intelligence, right? And I love something she said is, first, let me set the understanding of where I'm at. Like, if we just talking for a week or whatnot, come on, let's just be real, right? Like, we haven't developed no real fit, you know.
Right.
You know, if we further along, we were stuck. And I think so a lot of times, and I'm speaking this from a male's perspective, women are not fair in that exchange, right? It's like, okay, as soon as you start talking to me, I'm supposed to shut down my time, my effort, and energy into Sherrie's point. Wait a minute, we haven't gotten there yet. Right. And I'm not even talking about all the time talking to someone else. Like, I have female friends, like, so we're not even talking about in a relational standpoint. But that's, to me, again, that's the manipulation. And now I have to be exclusively to you, and we haven't set the foundation thereof, right? And so I love how you answered that. And that's why I love having this conversation. Like Christine said, we have to have these conversations to get into the nuances, right? In the beginning, we all know what dating is, but do we really have that understanding? If I just met you and we talking out the week, we're not exclusive, right? Like we not boyfriend and girlfriend. On the flip hand side, if we done locked in and, you know, and all of that, and now we just, come on now, but we have to start having these conversations. And I think like, and I forgot who said it earlier, sometimes we get so busy to act the art of dating that we don't have these real conversations. It's all about dinners and going out and look and sex and all this, but who's defined what's what? Because some people don't believe even in being intimate with each other is a prerequisite of still being with someone else. So you have to clearly define these expectations. I know talking in the podcast, before you can assume and have an expectation of someone else, what have you defined within your own self, right? And not just inferring that they should think the same like you. Elena, I will not put that comment up. Okay. Alyssa said, I mean, the dating like dating and going on dates. Both of you say you want a relationship. So here's my thing, if I can.
Manipulation.
I'm gonna put on the life coach hat. I do not believe you can talk to at one time and engaging in these things because feelings come up. Feelings are real. I don't care how you go into it. I can go into a conversation with Sherrie and just say, okay, we just eating, we just friends. Then I can have a conversation, do the same thing with Diana, and something about her like, oh wow. And we don't give ourselves credit for it. It's like, oh, now I want more of that. And it doesn't have to be anything sexual. So to me, I say I believe, in my opinion, it's a good rule of thumb, one-on-one, right? Or at least make it known, hey, if I'm talking to Sherrie, hey, I just want to let you know, hey, I am talking to Diana. If not, hey, let's just have a one-on-one. So I can get a full understanding, a full vibe, and full energy without that interruption of somebody else, right? I think that's when you get to the point, if I'm not wrong, Alyssa, what she's alluding to, if I'm out here dating and going on different dates and I'm, dinners and whole nine yards, well, now I'm kind of mixing energies, right? And then I think what all y'all said, ultimately, won't I have to choose anyway? Well, what's going to happen to that other person who's into me? See, we got to be fair, right? Like, yeah, I get to choose but like Sherrie said earlier, do I just throw this person to the side? Now this person, when they move on to their right one, they got a little curiosity because of what happened last time. So I think, again, that emotional intelligence and empathy has to come to play. Great question, Alyssa. Hey, Ruth, it's Glory. You look so beautiful.
Oh. Thank you.
Every friend I got on social media, if y'all don't come on here and give me like now complimented, you know what? I'm gonna have nobody but Mark Zuckerberg on my friend list after tonight. Everybody got a little funky comment and stuff. Okay, I ain't mad at you. Okay, as we wind down, O2 said a man will only do to you what you allow. And if you are talking to multiple people, you can't give all of them equal energy. So you go for the low-hanging fruit. Pretty much what I said. Like, we have to be real with ourselves, right? Can't play with fire and then get ashamed that you get burned. Again, people might think differently, but I just don't believe, like, if I'm talking to someone and like Sherrie said in the beginning, it's an intentional and there's a 1% chance, then let me figure that out first. I don't see how people do it. Like 2 or 3 of y'all, like, Jesus Christ. Like, let me figure.
If you working, you got kids, family, you don't got time to be dating that many people now.
Man, look at her. Like,
nope.
It gets I almost said something. I have to remember we on screen. It gets too much. Like, let's just be real. Like, especially if you come from a place where you're used to your solitude, right? Like, if you haven't been in a relationship, so you really are choose, right? Like, I'm not lonely. Like, I'm okay by myself or with someone. And then it gets complicated with all this. Like, it's easy for me. Like, all right, I'm good, But look, you guys, this has been a great one. I appreciate you guys' comments. There were questions that we didn't get to get to, Sherrie, but I do thank you for the answers that you gave on tonight's topic, intentional dating. Are we still doing that? I do want to ask you one last question before we get out of here. And it's one that we didn't touch on. I think we talked about is the role of healing and being ready, right? It's one thing to want it. I want this person and that and whatnot. And it's one thing for them to show up into our lives. But how do we know we're ready? And that's the question I kind of want to end just with everybody, just asking them, of course, with our esteemed guests. And again, Sherrie, thank you for joining us tonight. But with everything you know what you do not want, everything you know that you're looking for, how do you know you are ready for that? Like if it knocked on your door literally right now, how do you know that you're ready for that?
I mean, I just feel everything just comes with ease. There's no pressure. There's no, no gut feeling. There's nothing in my mind, back of my mind telling me no. It just, everything comes natural with ease. There's no pressure. It just feels naturally good. If that makes sense. Yeah.
That discernment is definitely key. And I think a lot of times we can avoid a whole lot of damage self-inflicted on our own self by just listening to that discernment that we have. Diana, put you on the spot. How do you know that you're ready for whatever it is that you're looking for? We know what you don't look for. We kind of talk about what it is you are looking for. But how do you know that you yourself is ready for that which you're looking for?
By doing the inner work. So a lot of times I think that's where we kind of go wrong at, is we're not doing the work on ourselves, right? So I've done a lot of work on me, right, to build me to who I am today. So in doing the work, I've been able to really understand what it is I require, right? Not expectations, but what I require in a partner. And I'm able to be what I require for the other person, and hopefully vice versa. So.
Jesus Christ. Okay. And Ruth, last but definitely not least, what did you realize about yourself that you knew you were ready to receive that which you're looking for when it comes to another mate?
When I started doing the not that I was all the way healed, but when I started the healing process, when I knew that it wasn't fair for me to bleed on someone else, the wounds that they didn't cause, that's when I knew that I was ready, when I was ready to open up again. And so I'm still, I thought that I was all the way healed, but I'm still healing. But I knew that I was ready to love again, and to be loved the right way, the proper way.
Right.
And I was ready to give that back.
Right. I remember a conversation you and I had, Ruth, and I'm glad you stated that in this session, right? Let's kill this ideology, come healed or don't come at all. The reality is we all dealing with some. Some of us can deal with it a little bit better than others, disguise, whatever, but we're all going through something. But I love the fact that it's what is my intention? Am I working on that? Am I willing to admit that? Am I willing to do the work? And sometimes that's not a period behind it. Sometimes it's a comma. Sometimes that thing is ongoing, to be fair and let the other person know, do they want to join in that or not? When I think about what Sherrie said on the onset, I think that's what, and not putting words in her mouth, but that's what hurts the most. If I'm taking this time to do the work, if I done already been through trash and God done blessed me for that, and I done went through the healing and I'm still trying to hold on, and I'm still trying to be powerful, and here you come again with this foolishness, that's an insult, right? Like that's enough to make someone angry. That's enough to make someone disappointed. And so I think it all goes back to, are we really being open and honest with ourselves? Because you cannot give somebody else something that you haven't given to yourself. If it's sex what you want, if you want to go on different dinner dates every time, go find them people. There's a lot of people in the world. But if you recognize to what Sherrie said, hey, this person got it going on, you know what they want, man, bow out. And allow that person to get to their person who they supposed to be with, so that it won't be a tougher joining journey for them. Look, I want to thank you all for tuning into Unfiltered Kings podcast. If this episode sparks something in you, share it, tag us, keep the conversation going. Like I said, we love to hear from the Christines, the listeners, O2 Boo, holding it down for the fellas. We're not just talking. What we're trying to do, man, we're trying to heal together, grow together, and we're trying to redefine how we have these conversations, right? I know we see a lot of stuff out there on social media, but like I said, when I saw Sherrie's video, it was like, man, and this is our first time formally meeting, believe it or not, but I felt that her words would lend itself to this topic, intentional dating. Are people even still doing that? And so hopefully you've heard from a male's perspective, from a female's perspective, that it goes again, it's a human thing, right? There are bad things out there that affects us, but there are also positive things out there that we're looking for. And so with that being said, thank you guys for joining us on another excellent episode of Unfiltered Kings and a Queen podcast. Remember, go to YouTube, go to Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, social media. We're on all the platforms. Like us, share us, definitely support us. And until next time, man, we'll talk to you guys later. You all have a great night.
Bye.